Hello and thanks for joining us on the GA Factor here on AN24, that is African News 24 TV. Now, Nigerians have woken up to another reality in the political space, gale of defections. Now, a lot of people say that Saraki's men and Dogara's men have done their worst. They've defected to the People's Democratic Party, predominantly People's Democratic Party, and it's looking like it's tilting towards the PDP in the Senate and in the House of Representatives. But now the APC, that is the All Progressives Congress, is still the majority in the Senate and the House of Representatives, as it were. About 15 senators went to the People's Democratic Party. Now, some of them have recanted. 3 of them went to meet with President Muhammadu Buhari, and they said, hey, we're not in the People's Democratic Party, we still remain members of the All Progressives Congress. Well, 2 governors, Governor Autumn of Benue State has officially decamped to the People's Democratic Party, and we're also hearing that about 2 more governors will be going to the People's Democratic Party. What does this say about the political space in Nigeria? Recall that in 2014, this was like a thunderbolt that struck the People's Democratic Party as the NPDP moved en masse to the All Progressives Congress. Now, what does this mean to our polity? What does it say about the people of Nigeria? Where are we going in the country? And I'm going to be discussing this with my analyst in the studio here at AN24 to look at this situation in Nigeria. All right, thanks for joining us again on the program, the GA Factor. Like I told you, the political space is really getting hotter. Now, remember that the National Assemblies, particularly the Senate, has gone on plenary for 2 months, and we are hoping that a whole lot of things would have happened before they come back from their recess. And I have here in the studio to discuss with me on this program right now, the man we call GKB. His name is Ganikade Balogun. Also, one of the most trusted Nigerian Aluta Continua, my friend Nelson Kujimi. You're welcome to the show. GKB, what do you make of this defection by those senators and the House of Representatives member to the People's Democratic Party and some of them to ADP?
I think that this is an event that we are going to witness every 4 years to the foreseeable future. This is because anytime at the eve of any general election, there are the people that will lose out at the primaries. There are people that will look for new conjectures, people that look for new areas of cooperation with others, and a lot of people are just going to go after self-interest. So I don't think this is such a big deal. If you remember that this happened in 2014, it happened in 2010. It happened since we came into this democracy almost 20 years ago. I think it's going to happen again in 2020. The basic reason is that politicians are basically a sort of very selfish creatures and are more interested in their own self-preservation than anything of national interest.
All right. Do you think, do you align with GKB that is all about selfishness and it's not about particular ideology? I mean, some of these people, remember that in 2014 when they were coming from NPDP to form APC, a whole lot of us were writing, and some people were saying that it's the coming together of strange bedfellows. Is it beginning to manifest?
Well, like GKB rightly said, it's all drama. It's a recurring decimal in our polity. It's not about the Nigerian people's interest. It is about self. That what can I get for myself? Because you look at the house, some of them cross-carpeted, they were making merry, they were jubilating. Meanwhile, there are issues of urgent issues of national importance on their table. For them, that does not matter. And that was why they had to go on recess for the next 2 months. It tells you that whatever concerns the people can stay in the background, or whatever concerns them will be in the front burner. So like DKB rightly said, it's a recurring decimal that we have become used to. And it's going to be with us for a long time to come, except if the electorate themselves realize the power in their thumb and do the needful when election.
Well, don't you think that this makes the Senate President and perhaps the Speaker of the House of Representatives one of the most powerful politicians in Nigeria, particularly Senate President. He's been seen as one of the most powerful politicians around now.
Perception sometimes cannot be reality. It's just a matter of perception. Because what really is power? Power is your ability to make a difference in the life of the people you govern. And so far, Mr. Saraki has not shown that kind of inclination towards interest that bother on the people. Remember, supplementary budget is on its way. We have issues of monetary elements. We have things to do with areas that are very close to the hearts of Nigerians. And no serious person who claims to be powerful, either in terms of perception or in reality, will go on a break for 2 months at this very critical stage of our development.
The People's Democratic Party seems to be rejoicing, about this. I mean, do you think it's going to last? Their joys. Do you think it's going to last? I mean, do you think that what is happening now will affect President Muhammadu Buhari's electoral fortunes in 2019?
Well, that will be determined by the Nigerian people, but be that as it may, it is not unusual for political parties to welcome back, maybe we should say now, their prodigal son. And we want also expect that in welcoming them back, the PDP will do an introspection or maybe a revival cleansing, so that they will have been purged or whatever they might have, inhaled where they went to. So for us, it's all part of what we have always said, that these parties are not interested in the Nigerian people's, plight. Rather, it's about, how many are we? What are we going to get for ourselves?
Okay, report from Kano State that Rabiu Kwankwanso, you will know, is a very popular politician out there, a two-term governor, very popular, the Kwankwansia movement, out there in Kano. A whole lot of the supporters, they were burning the broom and they were flying the flag of People's Democratic Party, only for us to hear the following, that the local chapter of the PDP is rejecting him. They don't want him. And we are hearing that he seems to be considering going to Labour Party. What do you make of that?
Again, we are back to where we started, about people's ambition and the reality on the ground. Kwankwanso has always wanted to be president, contested, and this is the second time.
Yeah.
And he has fallen short on both occasions. But he has the right as a Nigerian to aspire.
Sure.
And the PDP also has the right to reject him coming back to their party. But again, in politics, like I said, 24 hours is a long time. Don't forget that somebody who just ended another party until late last year is now working as a member of the campaign for Buhari'S re-election. So when it comes to politicians and standing steadfast, we are on a slippery slope, because there are only 3 things they're interested in. Me, myself, and self.
Okay, me, myself, and self. Well, I thought we were going to say me, myself, and I. Okay, this is election season. I mean, we're going into the general election, say, in another 7 months. What do you think will happen? We know that in politics, 24 hours is a long time. Now, but with all of these permutations, all of what is happening, the Obasanjo factor, the ex-generals factor, and of course the APC pushing back, saying that, we are still very much on ground, where some Nigerians are saying that, the president hasn't done much to merit second term in office. What do you make of all of this put together?
Well, it's all part of the build-up to the general elections, and we should expect more of this. And even right now, before we came into the studio, we became aware that even some of the defectors have already recanted. So it is not unlikely that before the general election, some of them will also go back, and some people also will jump ship once they know their survival is not guaranteed.
Exactly.
Because like we have identified, it's all about myself, and myself.
Well, I was going to go into that. Some defectors, in quote now, Senator Lanre Tejojo and 2 other senators, they held a meeting, and they were part of the senators, the 42 that held a meeting with the president last night. What does that say to us? And their names were on the list of the defectors. What are we saying? Are we saying something, before September 2018?
Well, the first thing you must remember is the fact that all of them, based on the disproportionate level of income that members of the National Assembly make vis-a-vis those of us outside, nobody wants to live that secluded life. They all want to return, and all this is just about negotiating their return, or what they call soft landing, because they've lost out in the primaries. So things that are being done cannot really be undone. All they can do is change the positions as often as practicable. And Mr. Larry Joshua has shown, and he has accepted that the politics is playing is local.
Exactly.
And he had issues with his local party officials.
All right, gentlemen, thanks for coming to the studio of AN24 to do justice to this analysis. Of course, we're going to be doing this on a regular basis. And just before we came into the studio, we got the report that a senator representing Kogi West's senatorial district, Senator Dino Melaye, has been abducted. And there are no details about his abduction, but we do know that this is a political season. A whole lot of things will be happening, and we'll be letting you know as they happen.